to stand, nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Councilmember Murray is absent. Councilmember Kavanaugh,
Present.
Councilmember Hotchkiss,
Present.
Councilmember Matavetsky,
Present.
Councilmember Rathmel,
Present.
Council President Dunn, also absent. Council President Pro Tem Middleton.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we will begin by approving the minutes from the business meeting on December 17th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Approval of appointments. Looks like we have three of those. Hold on one second. Okay, for Human Rights Commission, we have Stephen Kamency, which is from the mayor, Commission of Conservation for the Environment. We have, oh yeah, we have to vote. Okay. I'd like to take a vote for the mayor's pick for Human Rights Commission.
I can share a few words about it.
Sure, please.
I met him through Avery. They work with people who have sight impairment, and they have manufacturing facilities, and they supply, for example, the city's paper. When we first got onto council, when I was in my role as president, I got an email from them inviting us to tour their facilities here in Binghamton, and that is how I first met Stephen. I believe he lives in Councilman Rathmel's district. And we chatted, and I found out that he had previously been on CDAC and other positions. And we currently don't have anyone who's primarily active within differently abled populations on our Human Rights Commission. I thought of him, and so I passed his name over when he expressed interest after I asked him about it. So that's kind of the origin of the mayor's appointment. I passed that over to the mayor. I thought it was a reasonable appointment pick for him. And he's moving on it. So that's the history of it.
I think you sent us an email too regarding it too. Yeah, I got that, but I think that's good. It's a different perspective from a different.
Yeah, I believe he was on the board for a school for the blind too. I know there's quite a bit in his resume, but has beyond Avery involvement.
Any other discussion regarding Stephen Kaminsky? Okay,
Would get us up to full
capacity.
Full board for, why are you making a face? No, it would get us up to a full staffing or.
Is that's
on the
five?
commission.
I think 5 or 4.
So we had
Six?
we had 4 appointments and the mayor has 3 appointments.
One of the mayor's appointments recently resigned.
Oh, okay, sorry. Missed it.
Okay. Any other discussion regarding Stephen Kaminsky? Oh, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Or do you have-
Motion,
Oh, we have a
second, and
motion.
then,
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if
I'll make the motion for him.
I'll second.
Okay. And all in favor?
I have to take the roll, honey.
Oh, why does
It says it.
that mean?
Completely my fault. Councilmember Rathmel,
Aye.
Councilmember Matavetsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Council members Dundon and Murray are absent. Council President Pro Tem Middleton.
Aye.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. We have another appointment for the Commission of Conservation of the Environment. We are reappointing Caitlin Thierna and Scott Laufer. And we will also be appointing Cam Wenzinger. Yeah, I don't see anything. Next, we have for the community, for CDAC Community Development Advisory Committee, Councilmember Murray has reappointed Asia Ambler for the first district seat. Jordan Trice will be reappointed for the fifth district, and Justin McGregor will be reappointed for the seventh district seat. The mayor has also put forward Kelly Weiss for reappointment for the Planning Commission. Do I have a motion?
Can I make a motion to hold over the appointment?
I'll second.
Okay. All right. Public hearing. Let's move to our public hearing. We have one public hearing tonight regarding RL 26-13, an ordinance to amend Chapter 410 zoning to control certain land use that present a hazard public health. City residents are welcome to speak. You will have 5 minutes to discuss this topic. Please note that comments during the public hearing will be limited to only this topic. If you have any additional comments on other topics, you will have a chance to present them in the general public period. So right now, if anybody would like to speak regarding RL 26-13, please come down.
I'm John. This is spot zoning, isn't it? Is that what it is? Yeah. I don't know what constitutes hazardous health. I mean, you get soil samples, you get a track record of the type of business it is. I mean, it's strange that you can put restrictions on health hazards. I mean, to me, the building that we're in, and if you want to, you can do what I did. You can get a Geiger count. They're $89 go through these buildings sometime. We've had many people on the side of the county, many healthy people that worked with the county government all their lives. I know them, and they all died. So if we're talking about health hazards, we're in one right now. So I'm opposed to any restrictions that are not on a case-by-case basis. I mean, unless we've got some lithium battery factories planned, something like that, maybe. This seems, I don't know. I don't like it. It's too vague.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to come down regarding RL 26-13? If there's no more discussion, do I have a motion to close the hearing?
Is it motion?
Do you have anything to be read? A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Public hearings. We do not have any public hearings tonight to set. Now we can move on to public comment. Please come down to the microphone and introduce yourself by first name and indicate whether you live or work in the city of Binghamton. Each speaker has 5 minutes to address city council on city issues.
Good evening, council members and neighbors. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Miles Burnett. I am a West Side resident. As we continue to see communities across our country are being terrorized, families are being torn apart, parents are afraid to take their kids to school, workers are afraid to go to their jobs, people are afraid to go to the grocery store, to church, or to the doctor. That fear is not accidental. It is being created by an immigration enforcement system that operates through intimidation, raids, detentions, and disappearances. Across the country and here in New York, we are seeing ICE agents showing up at homes before sunrise. We are seeing people detained at routine check-ins. We are seeing neighbors taken away in unmarked vehicles. We are seeing people vanish into detention centers, sometimes hundreds of miles away from their families with no warning and no due process. That is not public safety, it is terror. And the message being sent is clear. If you are an immigrant, you are not safe. As many of you remember, when I ran for mayor of Binghamton, I spoke directly about public safety and immigration enforcement. I said clearly that city employees should not be doing the work or cooperating with immigration and customs enforcement. And at the time, Mayor Cram himself was vocal about his opposition to ICE engagement with our local policing and city employees. He said, and I quote, "I do not want Binghamton police officers cooperating with ICE, period. And that will not happen as long as I'm mayor." He also said that under his administration, Binghamton police will not engage with ICE because, quote, "it does not advance community policing and really public safety and trust within the community." Those were strong words. They were right words. But words are meaningless without action. Because when the opportunity came to turn those statements into law, when the opportunity came to protect our residents with real legal safeguards, the mayor did nothing. That is why I want to commend you all here on City Council. You stepped up where the mayor refused to lead. You acted when he would not. You protected this city when he played politics over having moral courage. By passing Resolution 25-125, you made it clear that Binghamton will not use city funds, personnel, or resources to carry out federal immigration enforcement. You did the work the mayor should have done if he truly believed what he said. You gave him the opportunity to sign the legislation. You gave him the opportunity to stand with immigrant families, and you gave him the opportunity to prove that his words meant something. And instead, he refused to sign it. He didn't even veto it. He took no action at all. Like a coward, filled with false promises and talk, he walked away. This was not leadership. This was not courage. This was not integrity. It was political expedience. It was empty rhetoric. It was saying what sounded good while doing nothing that mattered, nothing at all. And let's be clear, when ICE is banging on people's doors, when families are hiding in their homes, when children are crying because their parents did not come home from work, neutrality is not an option. Silence in the face of injustice is not neutral, it's complicity. Inaction is not neutral, it's destructive decision. And failure to lead is just a cowardly choice. And this mayor chose to do nothing. So tonight, I really, from the bottom of my heart, want to say thank you to the members of the council who refused to look away. Thank you for standing up for immigrant families. Thank you for standing up for public safety that is rooted in trust and not fear. And thank you for standing up for the values that make Binghamton a city where everyone deserves dignity and protection. Our residents are lucky to have this council that takes action, a council that stands up for what is right, a council that protects every member of our community. Because leadership is not about press quotes, Mayor Cram. Leadership is not about campaign talking points. Leadership is about showing up when it's hard and doing the work. And you all did that work. And the people of Binghamton will remember who stood with them and who did not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Andy Pregas. I'm a West Side resident. Today I'm here to respond to the waste disposal options from the Commission of Conservation of the Environment, which was presented back in November. The document proposes several modifications to the current blue bag trash system, including subsidizing bags for low-income residents, making the bags biodegradable, monitoring blue bag quality, better education, etc. That is, they propose making the system more costly, inefficient, and complicated than it already is. Tweaking the current system is entirely insufficient. The myopic dedication of the system is incomprehensible to me and neglects the program's reality and how people feel about it. The blue bag system is a regressive tax hitting poor people the hardest while subsidizing landlords and downtown businesses. It is riddled with inequalities, inconsistencies that do a disservice to the people of Binghamton. In a time when people are suffering from the high cost of everything, replacing the blue bags will save time and money for the city residents and make our city cleaner. Let me list some of the problems. The blue bags cost taxpayers money to produce. Yes, we pay to actually produce the bags to the tune of $300,000 annually. That's lighting $300,000 a year on fire. The blue bag mandate is unevenly enforced. Non-blue bags are routinely picked up without an issuance of a ticket. Items are not in a bag, or items that are there beyond the 3 large item limit are picked up. It also seems that some neighborhoods are fined more frequently than others. Unlike in the neighborhoods, trash is collected daily in downtown Binghamton. Every day, every night, you can put whatever the hell you want on the street and it will get picked up by a truck. I've seen it with my own eyes on multiple occasions. While there exists a requirement that trash be put in cans, it is not enforced, nor is there any plan to actually enforce it. City regulations even have a can limit of 2, and by extension, there's actually a 100-pound limit to the amount of trash you can put out. Bags are expensive, leading to all manner of systemic inefficiencies and perverse incentives. I know a person, for example, who, when their blue bag isn't filled, they make sure it's filled by stuffing recyclables in it to get their money's worth. Local businesses have no incentive to stock the bags because the profit margin is so thin. The bags system discourages use of the municipal trash system and encourages dumping and hoarding. Most people are forced to use the large bags. I've never found a medium-sized bag in the city. Since most people cannot lift a bulky 50-pound bag, people chronically underfill their bags, forcing them to use more bags than is necessary and waste money. This is also a really big problem for people with disabilities and older people. Of course, most people are also forced to double bag, and most of all, bags are a massive waste of time and energy for city residents and just a constant source of aggravation. Every time you forget a bag, you got to go back to the grocery store. It's annoying. I want to be clear about what I'm actually advocating and who I blame for this. I am not advocating for people to be ticketed or putting out improperly bagged or unbagged trash. I'm not advocating for more enforcement. That is always a band-aid solution when there's such widespread non-compliance and problems with the system. The situation is also not the problem of the hardworking people who pick up the trash. And nothing here should be taken as taking away from the work that they do. They do a difficult job, and frankly, I think that if we scrap the blue bag system, we can find a way to pay them more because they desperately deserve a raise. The problem lies squarely with the mayor's office and the way that the system is run. And I want to be clear, this is largely because it is a large handout to landlords at the expense of homeowners and tenants alike. Over the last few years I've been investigating the issue, I found the pro blue bag position frankly wanting. In one particular but popular theory, I find particularly absurd. That theory is that the bags encourage recycling and reduce trash. There are several problems with this. First, there's no evidence to support it. Second, people do not make decisions about how much trash they produce based on the cost of bags. Third, it's counterproductive. We actually want to encourage people to throw away things in the trash system because that is the cleanest option. Fourth, while it may have encouraged recycling back in the early 90s when it was passed, they did at the same time that they introduced curbside recycling. Today, most of us either habitually recycle or we don't. Fifth, it actually incentivizes people to put things in the recycling bin that are not in fact recyclable. To save time, I'm not going to lay out a similar argument about similar lengthy counter argument to that the system, you only pay for what you throw away. Equally ridiculous. And I will just skip ahead to my proposals. I really propose that this body review the city ordinance around trash and make appropriate alterations, commit to ending the blue bag system, and perform a solid waste study. We desperately need one to make real progress on this issue. I know that for many people this issue may seem inconsequential, but it's not. There's so often very little that this body or any city agency can do to really have a positive impact on people's lives and make its life more affordable. Ending the blue bag system is when you can.
Thank you.
You got enough mics to either start 5 boy bands or donate them to the UN. When I was a kid, the UN had all those microphones, you know, they had them at the Eichmann trial too. Let's see, what do I want to talk about? What's a good subject? Huh? Oh, you know, when one of the last times I was here, you were debating a noise ordinance and for a bar. And, you know, I didn't take a position on it because I was waiting for the cast of Footloose to come in. And you know, how about this one? Cram's mother left the city. She bought a house in town of Shenango, where she's from. So I mean, she knows Junior better than anybody, and she hightailed it. So much for the quality of life in Binghamton. I wish her luck up there in the town of Shenango. Junior's on his own now, just a lab. Let's see, there's a lot to catch up with here. By the way, you all got an F. I hate to break it to you. You know, you all got an F for last year. You got bogged down in a lot of things. But the guy that's the best, the guy that I want to salute tonight is Alami Porter. He could have stayed on this council and grabbed the check. You know, that's not unheard of. We've had people go to Florida for a couple of months and take their check, you know. A man of conscience. He said, there's no, and I couldn't believe it. I said, geez, he's giving up this check. I liked the guy from the minute I laid eyes on him. Old school all the way. I knew there was something good about that guy. And sure enough, he couldn't take it. And you know, it was funny because about 20 years ago, Dave Lindsay, out of the blue, shows up at a work session, the county legislator. And he wasn't a county legislator at that time. He just showed up at a work session and said, nothing's getting done, you know. Tony Massar, the late council president, told me once, he says, the only way you can evaluate a legislative body is by pieces of legislation. And, you know, it doesn't have to, you know, pieces of legislation can undo prior legislation. But he says that's the volume is the only way you know what's going on. So you didn't, you know, you let Junior get in there and he's having a ball. Is now that we've lost Zukoski, is the city that much unsafe? I mean, are there big problems since we lost the police chief for life? I mean, come on. Can we make a move to welcome Leah Webb back to the city? I understand she might become a renter pretty soon, so maybe we can lure her back because it all began right here for her at this thing. See, I'm getting slow here. I'm really getting slow. This is like a cognitive test. Maybe I should run for higher office, you think? You know, something's bound to open up. But really, I support the local police. And if you weren't around in 1960 when the John Birch Society started that just meant no federal involvement with local police. You know, your sheriff is your sheriff. Your cops are your cops. You work it out. And the more, see, you take the money and you take all the equipment, and then you can't live without it. Then you lose your local police force because the feds call the tune. And they call a real good tune. So I just want, and I told Kenya a long time ago, I says, you're gonna be big. And see, you're already moving up, you know? Was it a tough campaign on that one?
1 minute left.
How much?
1 minute.
Oh, 1 minute. Okay. So I was in Johnson City and I didn't know anything. And I went to a meeting down there and it ran smoothly. And, you know, she ran a good meeting. She didn't take herself too seriously. So that threat, I think, is over with. Anybody that felt that was threat. But I think the problem here is this, and I remember, let me talk about Conrad Taylor, you know, the great progressive guy, had great carriage. I thought he was gonna be big, and now he's doing a disc jockey in New York. but he wouldn't champion the progressive causes. He collapsed. So I don't care whether you're conservative or progressive. I like these people here. I like that guy with the baseball cap on. You know, just champion your cause and you know, we'll work it out later. But to get elected on a gung ho thing and then collapse, what the hell good is that? Thanks.
Thank you, John. Is there anyone else that would like to speak for public comment? If there's no one else that would like to speak, the clerk, can you read into any comments or anything we have for
I
email?
do have one comment. It was submitted late, but by request of Councilmember Matavetsky, would you mind if I still read it into the record?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Dear Mayor Cram and City Council members, at today's Broome County Food Council meeting, we heard the presentation of the Food Systems Analysis Report from Seeds of Change, our food system consultants. One of its key findings is that food insecurity cannot be addressed without also addressing infrastructure, specifically housing and transportation, as core food security challenges. I was asked to share the Broome County Food Council support of the following for the CDBG spend down. Keeping in mind its key findings above, the Broome County Food Council supports CDBG spend down option of the interim operation of the warming center at 42 Shenango Street, as suggested by Councilwoman Rebecca Rathmel, extending its operation through the end of June. We received feedback from Kate Miller-Corcoran, Food as Medicine Coordinator with the Food and Health Network and member of our Transportation Work Group, who highlighted infrastructure needs that would benefit food as medicine patients in the city of Binghamton. She said additional bus stops at some major food access locations where folks can utilize nutrition incentives like WIC, SNAP, produce prescription vouchers, and double up food books. This brings to mind opportunities to better connect these incentives with local food outlets such as Greater Good Grocery, the Broome County Farmers Market, Price Chopper, Weiss, and potentially the Asian and other culturally specific food markets along Main Street and beyond. Doing so could help ensure that current and new immigrant communities have access to culturally relevant foods. Comfort food matters. It nourishes both body and soul. Connecting these businesses to nutrition incentives where they aren't already and making sure information reaches those communities would be a meaningful step forward. This is a win for food access and a win for economic development, especially in historically underfunded areas. Finally, I want to lift up two immediate infrastructure needs tied directly to food access. First, the Salvation Army's new facility on Walnut Street, future home to one of the largest pantry and community meals in the city, needs a parking lot repave, which is essential for safe access and service of its clients. Second, the Eliza Spencer Blessing Box on the east side is in need of a new box to continue offering 24/7 food access to neighbors, as well as a refrigerator to support safe cold storage. These are practical, achievable steps that reflect what the food systems analysis makes clear. When we invest in infrastructure and community partnerships, we reduce barriers to food access and strengthen neighborhoods. Addressing these needs moves us closer to a city where everyone has reliable access to food with dignity and where no one is left behind. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Teresa Kraus.
Thank you. Is that it for tonight? Thank you. Thank you for everyone who spoke tonight. Now we will move on with first reading legislation. First on the agenda, we have introductory ordinance 026-1, an ordinance to amend the 2025 fire budget for over budget line items considered in finance. Councilmember Kavanaugh.
I'd like to motion to adopt 026-01, ordinance to amend the 2025 fire budget for over budget line items.
Second.
Any discussion?
Well, just for my 7 items tonight, I broadly refer everyone back to the work session on Monday. We discussed with department heads each of these transfers. Most of them represent overtime, holiday pay, a little bit of electricity, kind of generally speaking. Those are most of the overages. So rather than going back and rehashing all that, I would just kind of give an overview here for all these departmental transfers. If anyone wants more back and forth now, we can have it, but for anyone watching at home, look at Monday's meeting.
Any other discussion regarding 26-01? Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Councilmember Rathmel,
Aye.
Councilmember Matavetsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Councilmembers Murray and Dundon are absent. Council President Pro Tem Middleton.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 5-0.
Next, we have introductory ordinance 26-02, an ordinance to amend the 2025 police budget for over budget line items considered in finance. Councilmember Kavanaugh.
I'd like to motion to adopt 026-02, ordinance to amend the 2025 police budget.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, clerk, can you please take the roll?
Councilmember Rathmel.
Aye.
Councilmember Matavetsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Councilmembers Murray and Dundon are absent. Council President Pro Tem Middleton. Thank you. That is 5-0.
Thank you. Next, we have introductory ordinance 026-03, an ordinance to amend the 2025 GPW budget for over budget line items considered in finance. Councilmember Kavanaugh.
I'd like to motion to adopt 026-03, an ordinance to amend the 2025 DPW budget for over budget line items.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, can you please take a roll?
Councilmember Rathmel.
Aye.
Councilmember Matavetsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Councilmembers Murray and Dundon are absent. Council President Pro Tem Middleton.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 5-0.
Thank you so much for that. Next, we have introductory ordinance 026-04, an ordinance to amend the 2025 general fund budget for over budget line items considered in finance. Councilmember Kavanaugh.
I'd like to motion to adopt 026-04, an ordinance to amend the 2025 general fund budget for over budget line items.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilmember Rathmel.
Aye.
Councilmember Matavetsky. Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Councilmembers Murray and Dundon are absent. Council President Pro Tem Middleton.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 5-0.
Thank you. Next, I would like to make next we have introductory ordinance 026-05, an ordinance to amend the 2025 sewer fund budget for overline budget items considered in finance. Councilmember Kavanaugh.
I'd like to motion to adopt 026-05, an ordinance to amend the 2025 sewer fund budget for payment of additional debt service on the 2016B settlement.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a first and a second. Any discussion?
So this one is a little bit different than the departmental ones. This is dealing with paying down debt that's being held by the New York State. Oh, Bob, help me. New York State Energy or oh, not energy. What's the name of the agency? Yes, EFC, right. Yes, thank you. So debt being held by New York State Environmental EFC for the large sewage treatment plant repairs and modernization project. They are adjusting and refinancing debt. We have money, Johnson City and Binghamton have money we received through the settlement for all that. That's kind of been, we've been holding in anticipation of this call on the note. So it's using that money to pay down the debt from that project with settlement funds that were gained from litigation from the project. So that's all it is. We're paying back our fair share and letting the state refinance at hopefully a better rate.
Anybody else? Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Councilmember Rathmel.
Aye.
Councilmember Matavetsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Councilmembers Murray and Dundon are absent. Council
Aye.
President Pro Tem Middleton. Thank you. That's 5-0.
Thank you. Next, we have ordinance 026-06, an ordinance to amend the 2025 personnel budget for overline items considered in finance. Councilmember Kavanaugh.
I'd like to motion to adopt 026-06, an ordinance to amend the 2025 personnel budget for over budget line items.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion? Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilmember Rathmel.
Aye.
Councilmember Matavetsky.
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Councilmembers Murray and Dundon are absent. Council President Pro Tem Middleton.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 5-0.
Thank you. Next, we have introductory ordinance 026-7, an ordinance to amend the 2026 contingency for purchase of med cars for the Binghamton City Fire Department considered in finance with Councilmember Kavanaugh.
I'd like to motion to adopt 026-07, ordinance to amend the 2026 contingency budget and fire budget for purchases of med cars for the City of Binghamton Fire Department.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion?
This was obviously topic of discussion last year and during budget season and earlier this week. It's my understanding is that this was at estimate and apportionment today and was held over. I do think we should still move forward with our vote and leave it in their court and see where it goes.
Yeah, I think the context that I would add to what you just mentioned. So we did note on Monday evening when this was unanimously expedited that the only barrier to these funds moving forward and being immediately accessible in support of the fire department, specifically from our contingency account, would be if the Board of Estimate and Apportionment, which is chaired by Mayor Cram and made up entirely of members who are appointed by Mayor Cram, opts not to approve the transfer. So I appreciate you representing Councilmember Kavanaugh that the board did meet earlier today. And rather than approving the transfer and allowing that immediate access, they voted to hold over. I agree and am in support of us still moving forward with our commitment to pass this.
Any other discussion regarding this, RL?
With regards to the E&A approval being listed, say, yeah, they'll have to be changed. It basically be subject to E&A approval.
I'd like to motion to amend 025-07. I'm sorry, 026-07. There we go. Let's see.
Do you want me to run through the language for it?
Yeah. Whereas, so it's the second
So-
whereas such budget amendments were approved by the Board of Estimate and Apportionment on January 14th, 2026, we would strike that and replace it with, shouldn't really be a whereas.
Such budget amendments are subject to approval by the Board of Estimate and Apportionment.
That works.
Second, the motion to amend.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion on the amendment for RL 26-07? Clerk, can you please call a roll for the amendment?
Councilmember Rathmel,
Aye.
Councilmember Matavetsky, Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Councilmembers Murray and Dundon are absent. Council President Pro Tem Middleton.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 5-0.
Thank you. So now we go back to RL, the ordinance for 026-07. Any other discussion regarding that? Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Councilmember Rathmel,
Aye.
Councilmember Matavetsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss,
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Councilmembers Murray and Dundon are absent. Council President Pro Tem Middleton.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 5-0.
Thank you so much. Next, we have introductory 026-8, an ordinance to amend Chapter 26 of the city charter to update the rules of procedure considered in rules and procedures. Councilmember Matavetsky.
So I don't think that I received any of the feedback to finalize the rule book today. Correct.
Okay. Do you want to hold it over until our next
Yeah.
meeting?
Let's hold it over.
Okay. So I have a
I'll make-
motion
I'll
to
make a
hold
motion
her?
to hold over.
And do I have a second?
Aye.
Okay. Any
Second.
discussion?
We also got, courtesy of Corporation Council, some additional materials, some old rule books that we never knew existed.
Oh,
So
wow.
Yeah.
got more stuff to go through, which is just thrilling.
Okay. Well, that's good. So we're going to hold that, that over for the next meeting. If anybody, do you have any
I just
discussion?
have a question. What was the part that needed, it just needed to be, did we already take care of the piece that needed to be addressed?
Ours, it was just for,
Our committee?
the majority leader, kind of
Yeah, I
what
was
that
looking-
role was.
No, I'm sorry. There was a part of the rule book or an aspect, I could be misunderstanding. So correct me as soon as you know what I'm even talking about, but,
I was gonna say, we have not done a rule book before, so I'm not sure any of us know what we're
Okay.
talking about. We're just
We
attempting
approved
to.
thought
the,
it
we
was
approved a
mentioned.
special rule to let the president vote last.
and
Is that
that
what you mean?
needed to be done during, there was
So
some
I
kind of
think
org
we were supposed to
committee
do
review.
all of it. I think I misunderstood, and I think we were supposed to do all of it at the organizational meeting. But I was confused because it said that the rule book needed to be for the first meeting. I've since talked to Corporation Council, and that was, in the past, they had a printed version so that you would actually have the rule book at the organizational meeting, and by your first voting meeting, everyone on council would have a printed copy of the rule book back when, because we're working with, similar to how we have, or in the charter, it says that we have to stand when we speak, but now we have microphones. Like,
Okay.
they did everything with
Okay.
paper because they didn't have
Missing
computers.
anything.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so I misunderstood it with my modern lens, thinking that the book was due today, but that was because they
see.
would print it today.
Okay.
So we're figuring it out. We will keep improving.
So the reason we do the president voting last is that's actually put in the charter in terms of like you designate it then.
Okay. I think it's great that we're confusing ourselves by trying to like do what we're supposed to be doing. I like that we're trying to figure it out. So I appreciate everything that's going into it. I just, and all of the perspectives too. So thank you for clarifying.
Thank you. So we're going to hold that over until our next meeting. And the motion is held over. Our last item on the agenda is introductory ordinance 026-9, an ordinance to amend the 2025 general fund budget for the Binghamton Plaza escrow considered in finance with Councilmember Rathmel.
Planning.
Excuse,
Nope, you're fine. Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to adopt.
I'm sorry, it's in finance, it says.
It's in planning.
Oh, I don't know, sorry.
It is in planning.
Oh,
yes.
so I was right
Thank you.
then,
Yep.
planning.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt introductory ordinance 026-09, an ordinance to amend the 2025 general fund budget for Binghamton Plaza escrow.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, this is, I mean, this was originally introduced early summer. We had, my notes doc on this is literally entitled 1,000 Questions on Binghamton Plaza. We had a lot come up, particularly about the environmental assessment form, the environmental impact of the work that is projected on site, what kind of work could actually be done on site, how it would be done. We're grateful to have input during a July 30th planning committee, which is available on our YouTube. We had a July 17th planning committee meeting, a July 30th planning committee meeting, at which point an individual from the Department for Environmental Conservation joined us to get answers to several of our questions on record. I don't know that I can represent that we got every single question answered, but I think we did as much as we could to gain a as comprehensive as possible of an understanding of what we're looking at in moving this forward. I have no doubt things will pop up as often happens, but at this time, I'm comfortable moving this forward, and it is something that I understand we are responsible for moving forward.
Any other discussion regarding this RL?
I think the only thing that I would add is that this is like we're required to pay this, but I think the owners had some indication that they wanted to contest the assessed value. So it might not be the total amount that we end up paying for Binghamton Plaza, but we'll still be in possession of it. So that's all.
Anybody else? Clerk, can you?
I guess it's
Oh.
part of this longer picture that like things start before you come into office and things are the way they are and you have to, some things have inertia and it, so regardless of what one thinks one way or another about the project, that we're at a point where my understanding is this has to happen. So it's, everything else is a kind of moot discussion.
Thank you. Clerk, can you please take a roll?
Councilmember Rathmel,
Aye.
Councilmember Matavetsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss,
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Councilmembers Murray and Dundon are absent. Council President Pro Tem Middleton.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 5-0.
Thank you, everyone. Now we're going to move on to communication from council. Tonight, we will start in District 6 with Councilmember Rathmel.
Nothing for me.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to District 5 with Councilmember Matavetsky.
All right, we have a Southside Neighborhood Assembly meeting January 20th at 7 p.m. At MacArthur. Are you going to be able to be there? Okay, we should both be there. And the speaker is the mayor this month. And oftentimes our county ledge rep is there as well. So it is a good time if you are on the south side and have any question about multiple layers of government. Somebody might be able to assist you right there on the spot. So we have January 19th is coming up, Martin Luther King Day, Discovery Center from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll have special free activities with admission themed around Martin Luther King Day. It's typically a very good time. So those are my announcements on that. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Up next, we'll have
New Year. 'Cause
You
I
have-
don't think we were here. I haven't spoken since New Year. So Happy New Year, everybody.
thank you. Next up, we'll have Council in the 4th District, Councilmember Hotchkiss.
No communication tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we'll have in the 3rd District, Councilmember Kavanaugh.
I've got nothing tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's my turn. First, I want to say Happy New Year to everyone. A little under the weather, but whatever. We on Thursday, I think next Thursday, I think it's the 22nd. We have we're starting back up for our West Side neighborhood meetings. Please come out. We have an agenda, have some new things that we want to start and really kind of bringing up the West Side neighborhood. So please come out to that meeting. Also, I'd like to on Monday, the NAACP of Broome County presents Martin Luther King Day 2026, Live Together at Peace. It's January 19th from 2 to 12, and it's going to be a nice little service. They have a guest speaker, Reverend Myra Brown, a pastor from Rochester, and they also have a youth choir. So if you're not doing anything from 12 to 2 on Monday, come stop by Trinity AME Zion and check out their Martin Luther King Day program, which is really nice. Also, I think they have an evening program. I don't really know the details on that. I know it's an evening program. I think it's at the Presbyterian Church, but once I find out the details, I'll have it on my page. So if anybody's interested in that. And I also wanted to say Happy New Year to everyone. This is our first time back in council. This is year 3 for all of us. I'm really excited, happy to have great colleagues, and I can't wait to see what we're going to accomplish this year. And with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
A motion.
I have a first and a second. Any, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you.